Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, or should I relay over a dual topic or topics? The first one is this Haitian driver ran into a school bus in the US, and this African trucker was going on the wrong side, cause fatalities. Now, watch this for a second. There are personnel that have the skin of black, but they know they don't mean American blacks no good. There are ones that have the skin of black that slot in and out the banner of black in category. But when it comes down to saying, hey, American blacks saying, hey, we got stuff going on over here continuously in this US and you're in the US. Hey, we need to come together and, kind of fight back against these supremacists and certain other people in this part of this culture and that culture and et cetera, and try to help out each other. And you got other personnel you got other personnel that do just like this. What do you mean? We need to come together, man. I mean, you got skin to black, and I'm of American black and stuff like that. We need to come together. They're like this. Exiting. What do you mean? Yes, that's how certain ones are. Now, what should be again infantile beyond logic, there are some good personnel from certain parts of sectionality arriving from Africa. There are some good ones within certain sectionalities arriving from Haiti. At the same time, there are certain ones within Haiti and there are certain ones within certain sections of Africa. They're like, yeah, we know there are some sellouts. We know there's some hateful ones. We know we can in certain parts of Africa. They know certain places, certain villages, certain areas, certain towns. They're like, no, you can't intermarry with each other, right? However, certain parts of Haiti arriving over in America, they're like, hey, no. Back in certain parts of Haiti, oh man, there are people who will backstab you left and right. You like, but y'all gonna be Haitians? Who care? They be like, how many personnel out for themselves? But again, you have personnel that think that American blacks are supposed to be what I call the American bonders of black skin, or the American bonders of humanity, supposed to save how many people while getting screwed over, right? Now, again, credit given to numbers of the good Haitian personnel are doing anything. Numbers of the good numbers of African personnel doing anything. Credit given. And as I relate over, there are ones who know. There are ones within certain cultures and backgrounds of either one that could be, they wouldn't even trust. Now, in this situation today, the first topic is this Haitian driver ran into a school bus in the US. The story goes is that the driver of a minivan that went across the center line and struck a Northwestern elementary school bus, taking the life of one student and injuring dozens, was sentenced to a prison term of 9 to 13.5 years. Spectators at this particular courthouse, when Hamanio Joseph, 36, a Haitian immigrant who did not have a valid license. What was that? He did not have a valid license when he crossed over the center line into the oncoming lane on state route 141, striking a Northwestern school bus with his 2010 Honda Odyssey. which then the bus flipped on its top. What was that? Which the bus flipped on its top. Wow. One of the victims was a little boy, 11 years old, who also, along with a dozen other students that were injured on a bus that had about 52 kids on board, but it had 52 people or 52 children on board. He was convicted of Hamanio Joseph was convicted of first-degree felony, involuntary manslaughter, and fourth-degree felony vehicular homicide. He was sentenced to an indefinite term of 9 to 13.5 years in prison with 2 to 5 years of post-release control after serving his time. But within American Blackism, we're not supposed to say anything, right? We're not supposed to say nothing. Oh my goodness. Well, at the same time, oh, because we're black. We're black. You like, what? I mean, we're black. Get the out of here with that. The person that's black, when they want to be black or the American black, and go back into that person's own cultural context when it's time for them to go back in their cultural context. Get the hell out of here with that game, the ones who play that. So in this topic, this first one, again, there are some good Haitians out there. Oh man, there are numbers of some beautiful Haitian women out there, right? And it would be nice if more Haitians and more American blacks would come together a little bit more on that, but it's not going to happen collectively, right? What was it? Not too long ago, there was a certain number of Haitians that was coming across the border illegally, and some was coming across there doing pseudo legally. The one this applies to, right? Because there's some to come over illegally. And the thing about it, there was, this particular picture of this enforcement, almost like they wanted to try to grab up this particular Haitian, and it wouldn't bow, right? Right. And then it eventually faded, as I already knew it was going to fade anyway, right? But the thing about it is that American blacks were some of the people who were getting mad, like, oh my goodness, they should be doing that, right? But again, American blacks by the millions do not get reciprocity. They say, hey man, we're helping other of our numbers, our black skinned counterpart brothers and sisters, but we're not getting reciprocity of helping us out. There's logical common sense to that. But unfortunately, there are people who use American blacks by the millions, with few exceptions, who know the game, that do not realize that how many get used. And just because somebody has a skin of black don't mean they're kin to American black. Let me play this particular video relating to this on this particular one. Give me one moment here. Give me one moment.
An emotional day in court as a Clark County bus driver relived one of the worst days of his life. 11-year-old Aiden Clark was killed last August in a school bus crash on that first day of school. The man accused of causing the crash, Romano Joseph, is now on trial facing several charges, including involuntary manslaughter.
And today we're getting a look at how that crash unfolded for the first time. Now, that bus had several cameras, including one that was pointed directly at Joseph's SUV. And we want to warn you, the video is hard to watch. Now, in this video, you can see the bus approaching a curve along State Route 41. Police say Romano Joseph was driving the Honda Odyssey. You can see the van as it rounds the corner right there, veers right into the path of that bus. The bus driver testified he tried to swerve but was hit and pushed off the road. You can see the van as it rounds the corner right there.
An emotional day in
the corner right there. See the van as it rounds the corner right there, veers right into the path of that bus. The bus driver testified he tried to swerve but was hit and pushed off the road.
But again, American blacks are supposed to be the bonders of people because they have some black skin and not supposed to call out things that are happening, right? Supposed to do just like they want American blacks, the ones this applies to. They sit there and do wrong to their numbers and own people, right? But we'll blame American blacks and say black on black crime, black on black crime, black on crime. You like, I know you ain't talking. So the second one today is, give me 1 second. So the second one today is, one moment here. The second one is this African trucker went on to the wrong side, caused fatalities. Here we go again. Say ones that have the skin of black, but don't want to sit there and associate with American blacks, the one this applies to. And unfortunately, there are certain ones within America, there are certain millions within American blackness, with few exceptions, that have a romanticizing about the sectionalities within from the African continent. African continent is a huge continent. And how many countries can fit into Africa? But you have quite enough people that have within American blackism that has this fairy tale of romanticism about Africa. And the thing about it, there are numbers of American blacks within Africa. Oh, that's expatting who know who they are. Credit given to them doing their thing. They know who they are. And there are ones who know, and this is a minute amount over there. And the ones who are decent, who are doing their thing, who know who I'm talking about, they're like, yeah, man, we understand, man, that we're not going to be considered African. We over here because there's an opportunity for us to be over here, and we want to be in Africa. We're doing our thing, and we understand that there is tribalism going on. We understand that we can go over to different other countries in Africa, and they'd be like, okay, so you're an American black, or you're over here, and you say, hey, man, but we are our brothers keepers each other, and they understand. They'd be like, what? They look at certain types of American blacks like this. Right? They're like, no. Right? And so the story goes is that this trucker who drove on the wrong side of a Nevada highway and took the lives of 3 motorcyclists was served 4 to 10 years in prison. Claude Rafiki, 29, was behind the wheel during this horrific crash in which a recently engaged couple that was only 22 years old and one was 21, as well as the father was 44. I'm not talking about if they talking about father within certain religional concept, or that was the father. One of them, I'm not quite sure. It just says father. 44. Say Rafiki, an African immigrant who obtained U.S. citizenship in 2021, pleaded guilty to 3 counts of reckless driving, resulting in the death of those 3 motorcyclists. Let me go ahead and play this particular. Oh, by the way, see, even though it's talking about this person is an African immigrant, and I only like to utilize the genericalities, but this the way that it's played, because it didn't say in general what part of Africa this person is from on that situation. On that, I make this point as well, is that it's an insulting thing. Oh, I forgot to say in the first one about that particular Haitian immigrant, the one that applies to over there, that I was sitting there relaying over, that they also had to have an interpreter. What? Now, this person was a U.S. citizen. Excuse me, the person was a Haitian immigrant that had no license. It was Johnny minivan, but they also couldn't. When they was going to trial and stuff like that, they had to have an interpreter. What? Do you think that would happen for American blacks to help our American blacks on that? Oh my goodness! And this particular one, relating to this particular African immigrant, this one, they also had to have an interpreter too. But and the language, I'm not going to try to pronounce that language. It was only from a certain numbers. It was small numbers within certain parts of African countries that this language is spoken. Again, his name is Claude Rafiki. So there are some personnel who know that name or that background and general stuff like that. So it goes that let me see. Go ahead and relay this video over. Give me 1 second here. One moment. Play this video.
A truck driver who killed 3 people gets the maximum penalty. Thanks for joining us at 4. I'm Kirsten Joyce. And I'm Heather Mills. With that driver on the wrong side of the road for nearly half a minute when he collided with a group of motorcyclists in March near Laughlin. He'll now spend at least 4 years in prison. 8 News Now investigator David Charnes, the only reporter in court, as 3 families told the driver what he took away.
29-year-old Claude Rafiki apologizes for killing 3 people as he waits to learn his punishment.
The defendant was driving a nuclear bomb on the road.
That bomb, an 18-wheeler weaving over the center line on Route 163 near Laughlin.
March 23rd, 2024, it's a day our family's lives were shattered and our hearts were broken.
That day, Rafiki drove on the wrong side of the road for more than 20 seconds, colliding with a group of unsuspecting motorcyclists coming around a corner. Jeremy Gibo, Owen Hart, and Athena Taylor did not survive.
He's lived 3 lives and he gets to walk away and escape. I hope this weighs on his shoulders every single day of his miserable life. When he passed was so sudden, there wasn't any time to say goodbye.
Hart and Taylor were recently engaged. His parents also on the ride, witnessing their son's death.
I feel guilty for leaving my son on the side of the road. On the scene of the crime, while it was being investigated. It all feels so wrong and unnatural.
Rafiki's Michigan State driving record, obtained by the 8 News Now investigators, shows his medical certification, the clearance required to drive that truck, expired the day after the triple fatal crash, and there's no medical restriction listed. But prosecutors say Rafiki was taking medication for epilepsy and believe he fabricated his logbooks, making it look like he was switching off with another driver. In reality, he was the only one.
Even though he's a hardworking man, he's trying to do this, but it's at the expense of everyone else's safety.
3 families wondering how a son, a daughter, and a dad would have lived their lives should Rafiki not have driven the wrong way.
I get stuck imagining how frightened they were if they suffered. A million questions and what ifs.
Rafiki and the families agreed to a deal to put him in prison for 4 to 10 years.
At the same time, you have personnel like this saying they see nothing, they hear nothing, they know nothing. And this is what certain numbers of people think American blacks, by the millions, are supposed to keep doing, right? Just because the person has the skin of black, it's supposed to mean they kin of American black. And then this is what numbers of people do when they sit there and know that numbers of American blacks are naive by the millions, with few exceptions, when they believe that. That's right. That's what happens. See, again, American blacks by the millions are supposed to be the saviors and the humanity bonders for people, while at the same time getting screwed over in Americanism for at least 4 centuries. You see how that goes and see how that sounds. The American blacks supposed to be the bonders of blackness, while not getting reciprocity back like that. There is again, biblical wisdom proverbs I like to be able to use at different times. In Proverbs 23:9, do not speak into the ears of a fool, for they will despise the knowledge. I'm a firm believer of once you've been relayed information, then it's on the person to believe it. I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show.